David, a 3-0 victory over Everton here at the training centre. Just your thoughts on the 90 minutes as a whole?
Probably, not even looking at the result at the moment, it's probably just more about actually how we performed. We put a lot of focus on the game at the weekend and what we did well, and how we felt if we could hit some of those levels in the game today, the result would take care of itself if that when we got to that point. But I thought out of possession there was spells in the first half actually where the players maybe were thinking we spend a little bit too much time without the ball, and that's always interesting to see our guys do that because it's not something they're used to. So that was important that we could manage that. We're comfortable not having the ball, but actually when we got a chance to go and put pressure or force errors, I thought we did that pretty well, and obviously we really restricted a lot of limited opportunities for Everton in their box. But then I think in possession was excellent. I thought with a lot of good control. Probably one bit we challenged the lads at half time was, where are the game-changing moments? Who's going to make the difference? And obviously Aaron does that just before half-time with a brilliant bit of combination play. I think it was with Josh McPake and then puts the ball in the top corner. So that gives the lads a little bit more belief into the second half that they can go open up what was also a quite tight, compact unit as well to try and break it down. So an enjoyable game.
Yeah, how pleasing was the control that you had throughout the game?
It's a big part of how we want to look when we have the ball. We want to have control. We've got a principle and a way and a structure that we want to be in when we have the ball and that building phase of our attack. Then it's about being a little bit fluid, a little bit creative, a little bit imaginative and disruptive when we get through those first two lines of the opposition unit. So I think the first half we did it well at times, but the last action that the team needed wasn't quite there, other than the goal obviously that we get. So the second half I thought we created many more opportunities. There's a bit of a debate between all three goals in terms of which one was the best, and you could argue each for a bit for all of them, but three excellent goals. You can put a little individuality in that as well, but obviously there's some teamwork in there to get us to that point. So yeah, I thought second half we created more. What I'd probably like to see is a bit more selfish movements in terms of getting in the middle of the goals and running through the goals for an opportunity to go and tap the ball in from 2 or 3 yards from crossing situations. I don't think we did that quite well enough, but it's hard to be too critical when you've got that performance.
Yeah, and you look at the mix of age ranges in the team today, obviously some teenagers mixed with some players with first team experience. How much do you think that brings on the players' development as well?
Well, what we've said when we're arranging these games is we don't want to limit ages. We don't want to have that bit where we need to consider what age a player is before we put it into the team. I know that part of the attraction for this from the first team point of view is that they want to be able to drop players into these levels of games. Now, clearly you've got to consider the opposition as well at certain points, but we're saying to the teams when we're building these or arranging these games, this is an open game. We'll call it a B team, but it's an open game, which means we want the facility to go and do that. So that's important for us. Now, like you rightly said, you've got Xander Hutton's in 06, Zach Lovelace is still 06, which people tend to kind of forget in that as well. A number of lads that come on the pitch as well. Paul Nacio is still in 06. You've got a few 05 in there, and Jamie Newton coming on, Christian Webster in there, Greg Allen starting the game, playing the majority of the game there. So we have got a wide age range you've spoken about, mixed with the talent of some of the guys who are close to the first team or being close to the first team. Lowry obviously coming to play these games as well. So it's a very wide range. I think it makes it all the more pleasing when you can go and see them put on a team performance and still show individual flair and sort of moments as well. So pleased how the team functioned. What we said to them though, within the team, you need to be individual. Don't ever lose that, and I thought that was important today.
Yeah, and just looking ahead to Saturday now and the visit of Burnley to the training centre, how much are you and the boys looking forward to that?
Another good challenge. I think the good bit of these games are it's not just about us turning up and thinking just about us and solely with us. We've got to think about what challenge the opposition bring, what their tactics might be, what challenges might bring to us, where we can cause them problems based on how they try and play in and out of possession. So it's good. I think that's really good for the guys because they should come off the pitch physically drained, but also mentally drained as well, because they've got to think a bit more about what the game might be, and especially if you don't have the ball. So looking forward to it. These are great games to be involved in. The players are really enjoying it so far. And obviously you've got the two games we've played in up until this point in terms of Leuven and Everton. Burnley's the next challenge.